Hello and welcome Calcio fans, Milan fans, and everybody in between. Today I'm going to be doing something using the build lineup website. Pretty cool website. You can build formations, put player lists in there, numbers, rosters, type of stuff you want to do. So I use it a lot, just kind of tinker, have some fun. But today I'm going to be doing two different things. First I'm going to go over a lot of the links that Milan has had recently, a lot of the signings we've already made, and kind of put what formation I think we're going to go with, how we're going to run it, what subs we're probably going to wind up with, and probably some of the recent sales, and we're going to kind of break down position by position. Secondly, I'm just going to do a quick look over if I were to press the reset button on the mercato altogether, what would I do? So just a little bit of fun. Okay, I'm going to scroll up to the initial one here. So we'll kind of go from goalkeeper, defense, mid, and then attack. Okay, so Mike Maignan, that's not changing. That's an easy one. He shouldn't be changed. At least I hope not. Sportiello is going to be next. He's a good backup, solid backup. We finally have a good backup goalkeeper, so I am very happy about that because, as we know, Mike unfortunately gets injured a lot. At least once per season. Maybe not a lot, but very lengthy layoffs. Theo, I have no idea who his backup is going to be. As you'll see when you get to mine, I really wanted us to pick up Parisi. I think that he could have slotted in as a future person to maybe take over for Teo because I don't know about this management if they're going to look to sell him. I do fear that they will. I don't want to happen, but we have to be prepared. And he was a relatively inexpensive option with tons of promise. I think he went for 11 million to Fiorentina. So I think we missed the boat there. Honestly, I know we're going to be getting rid of Foda Ballatore, which is a good move. If we don't spend here, we might want to consider just bringing a Primavera talent up like Botolan. I know he's done pretty well, so who knows? All right, next is the center backs. No real change there. I think we'll stick with just Tomori Chiao. We still have Gabia. We still have Kululu. We still have Kyer. There's been some talks about Gabia going on loan. I know that's okay to give him playtime, but I don't really think there's a need. I mean, we don't need to spend money here. I think that if you have them backing up the main center backs, it's really not going to be an issue. Plus, he'll get plenty of playing time as the third or fourth option for center backs. I think he should be given a little bit more faith. And Kalulu, he had a really poor year last year. Great first year, terrible last year, but I do have faith in Kalulu as well. So those backups there, while they didn't have the best years, I think that they should be given a little more trust here. I think they'll be all right. You've always got Kyer for the odd game here and there. Right back, Calabria will be the starter most likely. We are looking at doing a deal with Torino for Single. I don't really think we need this signing here. I would take it in a different direction, which I'll discuss on mine. But he's a decent choice. I like him much more as a right wing back personally. I think that Single has a very poor defense. I watch a lot of Calcio. I watch pretty much all Milan games. My family has different teams they support, so I watch a lot of games with them too. So, for example, my brother is a Juventus guy, so I watch Juventus, and I'll see who they play against. My father is a Roma guy, so I watch Roma. I see a lot of games, and most games that I see Single in, he's very good with attack. He's very poor with defense, and he's oftentimes he's out of position. He's just not the smartest defender. Like Kalulu has a good head on his shoulders. Like that's a guy who we brought in who was young. He just needs to get a little bit less green, but he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's smart, you can tell, right? Tiao, we brought him in recently. That guy, you can tell he's smart. He reads the game. Single, he's like a box of rocks. Like he really just needs to be a right wing back and just power forward. I don't think he'd fit in this formation. I think it's a bad choice. That's my 2 cents there. I would have done something different, which I'll go over soon. Okay. Either way, it's solid. Now we move into midfield, which the most changes are happening in midfield. So we'll start from I guess the first signing we made, which is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, was linked with us prior to the whole Maldini out and all that type of stuff. So he was brought in, relatively expensive price for that player there. Got a decent injury record. I wouldn't say he's necessarily injury prone, but he's had a decent amount of injuries, or at least laid off enough. I'm not sure if I give him that label yet, but who knows. He does have a lot of talent. He's got good size on him. I don't really know how he's going to adapt. I think he'll probably do well in Serie A because he's a pretty talented player. So I think he'll be all right. So that could be a good signing. I'm not really sure about the cost of it, but it should be okay. Krunic should be a good backup just across the board. He might even be starting at the very beginning since, as we all know, Pioli loves him. And, he does deserve a little bit of respect. He played quite well for a lot of the Champions League games last year, specifically when playing in that D mid role next to Tonali. Next is going to be Tijani Reijnders. He is from Azad Alkmaar, I believe, and somewhere between about 20 and 25. I think the fee was 20. It's probably going to go up to 25 with bonuses. So altogether around 25 if you include the bonuses. He's probably the most talented midfielder that we've been looking at. He's got a great shot on him. He's once again more attacking. I think everybody's been talking about him playing more in that Mezzala role. I don't really think he belongs there as that like deep lying playmaker type of a deal. I think he really needs to be more as like a center mid because he's got a fantastic shot on him. So why would you want to hinder him and put him all the way back there? Plus his defensive capabilities don't seem too good. Maybe they'll run it with Musa behind, Reijnders and RLC. I don't know, but we'll see. I think that's maybe the plan. I hope it is. Benacer will be the easy lock for that like D mid, that like metronomal role in front of the defense, but he's out until February minimum. You never know, he might just miss the whole season, so I can't even count Benacer as the main player. That's the reason why he's not starting in my formation here for what I think is going to happen. He's out most of the year. Next, I do think we're going to wind up with Yunus Musa. I'm not the biggest Musa fan. I don't think he has a lot of quality in his feet, and he's not as strong as people think he is. Like they're seeing, I know that like Gattuso said, oh, he reminds me of a Kessié. He doesn't really have the size of a Kessié. He doesn't really have the weight of a Kessié. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you were to ask RLC and Musa to push each other around, I'm pretty sure RLC would probably just win. He just got a much stronger physique. So, look, Musa's not some bossing type of midfielder. Maybe he could become that in a few years. I don't know, but he's definitely more of a center mid, and he's not the best D mid. He could transition that. I don't know. I mean, with good coaching, it's possible. That would be the ideal if we could make him more of a D mid. That's why I don't get this signing as well. Seems like we signed a bunch of center mid, box to box ish type of players, and no real D mid. I mean, and Benacer's out. I really would have rather us in this formation have gone for Dominguez because he's a true 6, an actual D mid who can tackle. But lo and behold, this is probably what we're going to get. And then Pobega will be a backup, so I think we're keeping him. Moving to the attack, of course, you're going to keep Rafa Leao. You'll have some backups, probably Isaacson and Romero. The reason why I say Isaacson here and not a guy like Chukwueze on the other side is because I think we are going to be going for Taremi up top, and he will take that non-EU spot, I believe. I think we only have one left, so we cannot get Chukwueze, so it has to be Isaacson. Romero, I think, is a good pickup. He was free. He got a lot of drive. I like the way that he attacks players. I know he can play all across that line there, right, middle, or left. I do think that both him and Pulisic are going to be best probably as like that attacking mid, more of a driving presence. Pulisic would be better on the left, but he can't really be there because Leao's there. But maybe he could start there if Leao's out for a game or something like that. So Leao, Pulisic, Taremi is probably what we're going to wind up with. Pretty decent signings overall. I don't think that's Pulisic's ideal position. I actually think that's the weakest of his 3. Left wing being his main, attacking mid being his secondary, and right wing being his least. But he's still going to be solid there, I think. Now, he does have an injury history. I would consider him injury prone, unlike RLC, who I think is close to that, but maybe not exactly with that label. Good thing about Pulisic is that he's young. He's still young. I mean, they paid so much money for him at Chelsea just a few years ago. We got him for essentially a third. I think he's about 22 mil or something like that. So somewhere around there. I also think we're going to be looking at getting Isaacson. I do like this because he's pretty cheap overall. He's got a great left foot, a true right winger who can cut in and shoot. That's his main quality, crossing and shooting with the left foot. So I do like that a lot, and now's the time. You wait longer, as we've all seen, the price goes up and up and up. If I was Milan, I'd make sure that we locked it down now, right? Because Taremi's price is going to be what it is. We're going to try to haggle. Right now, you want to lock down the guy who you know is cheaper and affordable and who might go up with time. So I think that's kind of how we're going to run it. Overall, I think it's pretty decent. I'm not digging the single signing. I get it that we're kind of swapping out Macias for him, and in that sense, it's pretty good because singles are a lot younger, a lot of potential. So from a monetary standpoint, great. But I'm not necessarily here to play Moneyball, right? So to use the Redbird term here, but it is good from a financial standpoint. I'm not sold on the midfield. coming from Kessie, Benacer, Tonali, these three, I don't like that at all, right? But it could work. It could work. The Musa one I'm least excited about. Reijnders I'm most excited about. I actually think that he was a good look either way, like with or without us keeping Tonali, doing that whole thing, right? But I think he was a good find. So happy about that one. It's gonna take time though. I mean, that's a whole midfield who is the cog of your team that needs to be replaced. I do think we're gonna be running this 4-3-3 formation. It is possible that we run like a 4-2-3-1, which I think we'll probably do something like this. Musa could be, one of these roles as well. We probably run Pulisic as the attacking mid, lay out here, and then rather than Musa, we'd probably be putting Isaac in. Right. Of course, it wouldn't be Pobega as the backup, but you probably go now. So that's another way we could run it. Pioli loves the 4-2-3-1, so it's highly possible we do something like this. So there is some variance, and I do kind of like that. And last thing I'll talk about is I do like Taremi as a choice. I would take it somewhere else just value-wise, but I do like, as far as the experience strikers we're going for, like Morata, I do like Taremi better. He's a quality player. He's got a great footballing brain. He really does. So, and I like that about him. He's not the youngest guy around. I think he's gonna be 31 before he joins us. If he joins, he's still gonna be 20+ million, but he is a proven scorer. Yes, not in the big league as much, but he's a good player. So, all right, that's my thoughts on that. I'll kind of quickly go over a little fun one that I would have done here if we would have pressed the reset button. So let's swap. Okay, so mine obviously has a lot of Italian players because that's just what I like. I like to see Milan at least with a decent amount of Italian players. I think here I got about 4 in the starting lineup. It's not like I need much more, but I like to see him around. So goalkeeper wouldn't have done anything different. Fantastic. Left back, 100% would have picked up Parisi, especially for the price of 11 mil. I think that was a no-brainer. We should have stepped on that. It's weird when Fiorentina beats us the transfers. Center backs wouldn't change a thing. We keep the backups as is. You still got Kyer as a 5th choice as well. Right back. If we're gonna be not just rolling with Calabria, Kalulu, and I forget his name, Florenzi. If we're not gonna be rolling with those 3, then I would have liked to see us pick up a guy like a Fresneda. He has a cheaper release clause. I think that people say he's gonna be probably going for around 15 mil. A lot of big clubs want him. I think he's gonna be a big thing. Far, far, far better than single. And the next choice is why I'll say the single thing. If we're gonna be negotiating because Torino wants Messias, right? And it's going to be a couple mil plus Messias is going to be the price, is what they're saying for single. I think single is rated, at maybe like 15 mil or less. I think actually he got a bid for 12 mil. Yeah, so he's going for around 12 mil from like the Premier League. So that's kind of his going rate. So they're thinking Messias 8 mil, 4 mil for get single on top of that. Okay, I would use that money and go more towards a guy like Samuel Ricci, who's about 15 to 18 mil, somewhere around there. If you paid basically Messias plus 10, maybe you get him. And that's a perfect choice because we've got a hole in the midfield right now. And we don't have any true D mids. And he could definitely do that role. Plus, he's somebody who could grow into it. He's very, very young. I would definitely rather use that money there in a need spot rather than at right back where we have 3 people covering it already. Like, we don't need single. But we do need some quality mids. So that's definitely what I would do with it. Of course, I would have kept Tonali. I would not have sold him. The whole point, in my opinion, was to build on this project. We have pillars, or we had pillars. We have Maignan, Theo, Tonali, Leao. I don't know if I consider Benacer a pillar because there's been so much talk about him always going to like PSG or something over the past few years. But look at that core, though. Even if you want to include Benacer, right? That's a great core. Now you got guys who've been here for a while. Calabria, Tomori. I think he's going to stay for quite a bit. And you just found a diamond in the rough in Thiago. That whole back is solid for years. Everything is there. Maignan, Theo, Tomori, Thiago, Calabria, Tonali, and Benacer. Super, super solid. You just needed that one midfielder who's got more freedom to roam, more freedom to go up front. SMS would have been the ideal choice, I think, in my opinion. Or Gundogan, but he was definitely going to go more towards Barcelona. And I think SMS is going to take that big deal in Saudi. So really, I would have loved for us to hop on Fatese. I think he's an underrated player. I know that with the money he went for, I think that's probably too much money. But in the Milan community, I think in general, it's blown to a lot of places. I think he's underrated. He's always active. When you see him play for the national team or for Sassuolo, he's always doing something every single game. You notice this guy. And I like players like that. I like players that you notice him every game, right? I don't like ghosts. I like players that you notice him every game. They got a lot of character. He can chip in with assists, goals. He runs all day long. He can tackle if need be. He's a great all-action guy. I think that would have been the perfect pickup for him midfield. Leao, not changing that one, of course. Right side, I really do like our link with Samuel Chukwueze. I think he's versatile. He's dynamite. Having two people on the wings with some actual pace is going to take so much pressure off Leao. Right now, it's all that side. Everybody knows you don't have to worry about the right side. Every once in a while, every once in a while, you're going to have a chip in from a CS, a chip in from Salamakers. It's not really that common. But if you add a guy like Chukwueze, amazing, right? Now, if you can't get him for some reason, my other options would be Orsolini or Isaacson. I like those links still, so that would be my options for the right side. And I do like the backups of. I really would have wished that we would have brought in El Shaarawy. He's old school Milan guy, not too old yet, still has good pace. I watched a lot of Romas, I was saying, and he always is doing something. He's got quality in his feet. He can chip in with big goals. He's still got it for sure. And he's versatile. He can play left wing, right wing. He can play wing back if you need him to in a pinch. Like, he's a very versatile guy. And I really would have wished us to bring him back, especially he was free. That was the perfect choice, in my opinion, for a backup for both our left and right side. Okay, up front, I like Scamacca. I like Beto. Now, both these guys, in my opinion, similar-ish, a little different. But they're these physical strikers, right? They're bigger guys. I really would have wanted Scamacca to come last year. Because in my opinion, I've always felt that he was like an Ibra light. He's a big guy, but he's not like a Gumby big guy. He's athletic. He's still quick. He's great with his feet. Very, very talented guy. So he's very skilled, and that's kind of what Ibra was. He's a very skilled big guy. And Scamacca has all those natural talents, right? He's great with link-up play. He's got a good brain for it. He's got very good feet. His shot is booming. He has all those things. He just hasn't been able to put it together. Yes, he got injured last season, so you may say, well, he didn't really have a chance. He was injured, but still, he just hasn't got there yet. And I think that the only way to get him there would be to put him in the right environment. Now, he may fail. It's possible. People may say, I don't think so. He's probably going to do bad. But you get him in the right environment, the right people. If you still had a guy like, Ibra around, great. But you still got Giroud. And that's a quality striker to learn from. So I like that one a lot. I think value-wise, he's 30 to 35 mil. If you struck a deal around there, he's still young. If he gets any better, he's going to go for a lot more. So the value and the potential is there. So that would be my choice. Now, I like Beto. I don't know how everybody else feels about Beto, but I like Beto. I think he's a very, very solid striker, just kind of on that verge of breaking out right now. He's getting comfortable in the league. He's starting to score goals. He is a physical presence as well, strong. And just like Scamacca, he's also quick, but Beto's really quick. He's truly fast, right? Scamacca's fast for a big guy. Beto's actually fast. So I really like that choice for us. His price still may be a little bit around that, like 20, 25 mil. But if you can get him closer to 20, I think it's an awesome choice. I don't mind our links to Taremi. As I said, I like him. But I would go here. I think the value is there. I like the age is there, so they can kind of grow into the team a little bit. So that's what I would do. As I said, I always like to add my Italians to the team because that's how I see Milan. It's a core part of how they become Milan and Inter became Inter. I always like to see Milan with some Italians. Very strange for me to not have them around. So that's what I would do. Let me guys know what you would change from both our current one, like our first list here, and second one, mine. So give me some suggestions. Let me know what you guys would think. Do you like where our team is going here with probably a 4-3-3? I know I mixed this around a little bit afterwards, but do you like where the team's going? Are you confident in the signings? What do you think? Thank you all for your time. Take care, and Forza Milan.